Well, headed up to Brainerd International Raceway. This is an event that's been on the books for quite a while. The owner of the track died in Florida when he fell off the side of a boat, apparently, last fall. And they're doing a memorial event up there at his old track, now his wife's track. So, I don't know. The weather is supposed to be like really, really, truly awful up there, so I'm not even sure why I'm going. Still have just about 2 hours of drive time left, and then I have to supercharge probably on my way back or the way up as well. I don't know. An excuse to put way more miles on this thing. But hopefully it's a good time. Okay, so we're, I don't actually know how many miles in, probably 110-ish in, just under halfway. So I wanted to go over kind of the efficiency is not very good. We're doing, that's pretty representative of the trip, about 375 watt hours a mile, and I would expect to see it more along the lines of 300. The main reason that is because of the heat, and then we've been following people at a little bit higher speed than I normally do on a trip like this. So this view right here shows the planned trip in the GPS and the energy utilization real time as well as projected. So the gray line there is what it anticipated originally for the planned trip, and then the green line is what we're doing right now. So if we were to slow down, say 5 miles an hour, the entire graph would shift upward. And if we started driving harder, it would shift downward, obviously, because the end of the graph there is ending battery percentage, where it started saying 27%, now we're up to 29%, just because we're stuck behind a Sierra and we're doing a bit under our target speed. So I'll be curious to see when we stop the second time exactly what happens there, but that's the car in a nutshell. Other than that, Brainerd is an interesting drive up to the track, because there's really only one good way up to the track from the population-dense Twin Cities, and it's fun to stop and see the various cars that you think are going to your event as well. Sorry for the gap there, I had to cough. I saw like a 370Z and like a Challenger, stuff like that at the gas station, all with minor mods, so I bet I will see them up at the track too. And I'm also wagering that they don't anticipate this boring gray Tesla Model S is headed up to BIR. Interestingly enough, yeah, I don't know. This thing is a great road trip car, even though it's kind of the small battery. I wouldn't have really expected it to handle quite as well as it is planning to. I wouldn't have even stopped that one time, but I didn't plan very well. I had to pee. So I am still debating when I get into town if I hit the supercharger on the way, or if I just go straight to the track, dick around for a while, and then supercharge on the way home. Either way, I hope it's a fun event. I'm told that it's 44 degrees and very windy up at the track, but it's not currently raining, so that's good. We're showing 49 right here and clear, although it's very windy. Well, just pulling into supercharger number 2. Clearly I wasn't quite as efficient as I intended to be, but not a big deal. We will simply top it up for like 10 minutes. Just to give us enough power to rid around the track a little bit and to run the heater before we come back here and spend maybe 40 minutes here on the way back home. Let's see what we get for kilowatts. We're at 19% state of charge, so I'm guessing we'll see 112? Oh, wow. I don't think I've ever seen 115 kilowatts. Anyway, I'm gonna let this charge for about 10 minutes and then we will hit the track. Well, after a 10-minute stop, I was actually at a little over 44% energy, showing us 42 at the track. I'm not sure how much driving I'll actually do around the grounds there, and I was told that they're going to do a parade lap or two, so we managed to get out there and abuse the battery a little bit. but there will definitely be more charging stops on the way home. Either way, that's impressive. 10 minutes we picked up, and we were at 20 or 19%, I think. And we got up to 45, so it's pretty excellent. Added 18 kilowatt hours to the car in 10 minutes. So I can probably turn off the energy display now. Visiting my buddy who's a corner worker up here, since he gave me a guest wrist pass, and his Biffy got blown over in the wind, so I still have to pee from like an hour ago. So I'm gonna go use somebody else's. Yeah, this Michelin Cup bike's going right now, and I think this is one of the last 2 run groups. So there was more racing earlier, but I missed it. Oops. The actual parade laps I think are in a couple hours. Definitely sticking around for that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I am watching prom.
Well, pretty good event overall. I didn't stay for much after the tourist lap, but anyway, headed back home. I think we had 83% when we left the track, and it actually said I could get all the way back to my house, but there's a supercharger on the way, so I now have it mapped into that, which looks like it's an hour away. May as well just plug in there for a bit. I'm actually going to work on my BMW North Star Regional Car Club of America newsletter. That's going to be fun on a bun, but it has to get done. So may as well force myself to do some work while I'm waiting for the free electrons to rush into the giant battery on this thingy. Pretty lovely night out though, other than being way cold.